Hello everyone! Welcome to my bold and the beautiful gossip channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Before we dive into today's content, make sure to hit that subscribe button and show some love by giving this video a thumbs up. At the lodge, Brooke hears Carter and Trust looking at going despite Edge's good faith and making Carter chief. Edge and Steffi have no clue about that. When they marked the papers, they gave him full control of the organization. Brooke breathes out as Carter lets Trust know this would be an overthrow. On the off chance that we do this, Forrester will be our own to run. At Forrester, Taylor and Edge plunk down to talk. He asks how she's doing. She's inclination more grounded and expresses gratitude toward him for mindful. According to Edge, I'll constantly mind, document. They go over how blissful Taylor is to be back with Steffi and the children. They giggle about how straightforward their girl is about both of them. Taylor knows he's with Brooke, his fate. Nothing could interfere with them. At Il Giardino, Will guarantees Electra he'd in any case kiss her regardless of whether she got anchovies on her pizza. She prods about additional garlic and plays with him. Will likes being with her beyond the workplace. At the bar, wearing a cap, the stalker watches them. Electra and Will toast and Minister drops by. Will acquaints him with Electra and Minister learns she's chipping away at Forrester's new gems line. At the bar, the stalker looks as Minister goes off and Will grasps Electra's hand, telling her he could gaze at her the entire day. They makes all the more casual conversation as the stalker looks on. Minister checks in with Electra and Will once more, and Bill's child makes sense of that his young lady is a Forrester. They visit about where occupied the spot is, and Elder heads out to manage an emergency. Will resumes romancing Electra, saying he needs to have a universal knowledge of her. In the lodge, Trust and Carter examine having a liable outlook on the thing they're doing. For Carter, he believes he needs to safeguard Trust. Steffi's gotten everything she could possibly want without regard to the organization, and Trust is certain she'd prefer see the structure torch than have her walk the passages once more. They wonder about her persuading Edge that she gave herself wholeheartedly to Finn. The choices have an expanding influence, however they're not worried. Carter exhausts that they set them here. Trust says they need to sort out their following stage. Carter inquires, might we at any point do this? Could we at any point take over Forrester? In the fundamental office, Taylor tells Edge she's been staying aware of Chandra. Edge reprimands that he'll continue to ride her to genuinely take this. Talk goes to him being trapped and Steffi terminating Trust. Edge concedes Brooke is incensed. All of a sudden, she strolls in. Edge glares, is an off-base thing? At Il Giardino, Will tells Electra his day-to-day's life has been shocking. He needs to be aware of hers. His telephone dings and he's really wanted back at the workplace. Electra urges him to go, she can think that she is way back. Will kisses her, which grabs the stalker's eye, and goes. When she's separated from everyone else, the stalker approaches her table. She questions, Remy? He says, hey, Electra. Electra bounces up and embraces him. They're so glad to see one another. She asks how things are back home and asks what he's doing in Los Angeles. He expresses he's there for a new beginning, and to see you, Electra. In the lodge, Carter paces as he says Edge confided in him, and how did I respond? Trust questions in the event that Edge really confides in him. He didn't pay attention to him or his thoughts. Simply think about that when you begin to feel regretful. He was disposed of and slighted. Carter vapored that how they treated her was off base and there's not an ounce of regret from Steffi. It will mean ruin for this organization. Trust muses, except if we save it. She lets him know it's entirely sensible to have a pit in his stomach, she's similarly as tangled and wishes they were never here regardless. Carter says they did what they needed to do, however, could we at any point make it official? The present moment it's their mystery, nobody knows. Trust says he's taking a chance with everything. No man has at any point battled for her as hard as he has. Carter says this is on the grounds that he adores her. She's been underestimated for a really long time. On the off chance that I do this, it's for you. It's for all the Logan ladies. He'll transform Forrester into a spot where everybody can flourish. They begin making out. In the principal office, Taylor offers to venture out. Brooke expresses gratitude toward her. Once alone, Edge asks his woman love what's happening. It can't be that terrible. She realizes he's been making arrangements to rebuild the organization. Edge doesn't think they talked about that. Brooke says they didn't. Edge guarantees her it's not something to be worried about. Carter drew up the papers and he and Steffi marked them. It's fine. According to Brooke, no, Edge. It's not fine. It's not fine by any means. Edge lets Brooke know that the LLC is great for them. It's nothing to stress over. It's settled. Brooke lets him know there's something he has to be aware. She makes sense of that expectation and Carter are involved. They're seeing someone. Edge guesses that makes sense of him guarding her. Brooke vowed to stay quiet, however she needed to tell him since there's something different he has to be aware. She went to the lodge and heard Carter and Trust talking about the LLC papers. She cautions this will come as a shock. You in all actuality do understand that Carter's name was on those papers too, right? Ed shrugs that he's the assessment fellow, he doesn't address him and trusts him totally. According to Brooke, all things considered, perhaps you shouldn't. Edge asks what's happening here. Brooke says it's her comprehension that when he and Steffi marked those papers, he afforded Carter full control over Forrester manifestations and over him as well. Edge expresses they're in full control. Brooke fights. She prefers not to say this since her little girl is involved, however Carter pulled an overthrow. At the point when Edge and Steffi marked the papers it was a setup, he played you. Wow, what he did was terrible. Furthermore, presently Carter has full control of Forrester manifestations.